Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversation and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you in your different time zones around the world and across the country. Well, here we are. It's Thursday. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning, 1 a.m. in London, and it's Friday. It's 9 a.m. in Tokyo. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Talk Back Live. My name is Frank Allan, and I am with you for this whole next hour. And we are here together like we always are. We're here every Thursday between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern. So if you're in a different time zone, make sure that your time zone collaborates with everything that we have here. Okay, we thank you so much for being along with us. And of course, all of you who are watching, if you're a first-time viewer, well, we welcome you. We thank you so much for being along with us. It's a family show, and all you have to do is to chime in. And if you have any questions, ideas, if you want to talk to us, we're here live, and all you have to do is just type in what you have to say. I will see you right there on the big screen, and I will entertain all of you. Now, the purpose of the show is, of course, the host of the show always throws out the first part of the conversation, and you can chime in at any time you want. I will see you there, and of course, I will entertain it. It may not be right away, but you just hang in there and I will entertain it for you. We've got so much planned for you on the show as usual, so much to talk about. And I want you to know that coming up this hour, this very hour, right? Not too far away, just a few minutes from now, Brian Camp will be chiming in directly from Charlotte, North Carolina. He'll be coming in with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. We'll talk about a lot of things. Hey, maybe we'll even talk about that Subway series that went on yesterday. It was a 2-game series. We'll talk about that. And he has a lot of other stuff to talk about. So we'll just wait till he gets here, and then we'll hand over the cameras and the microphones to him, and he could tell us all about it. Also, later on in the program, we have This Day in History. We'll be talking about that. That's coming up too. Everything that went down on this day in history, we have information on that. Also, we have all of those great movies that you love. All of you guys who love those classic movies, we have direct picks from Turner Classic Movies. As I do each week, I bring you my personal picks and convey them to you to add to your bucket list of what to do for the weekend. I always like to do that. That's just my part of saying thank you so much for joining us and helping you out with your weekend as well. If you're just watching us, of course, you know we come on 3 different places. We're live on Facebook right now. We're also on YouTube and Instagram. And those of you who are watching us on Facebook right now, please do this for me. Tag all of your friends and let them know that we're here. You tag them, they'll see it, and you'll bring them right on here with us. And this way they can talk to you. They'll see you're here, and you can talk to them. They'll talk to you, just like you talk to others who will come in, and you can talk to me as well. Also, if you're watching us on YouTube, please understand something, that we have a page, which we call our YouTube channel, all right? And so what I want you to do is when you watch us on YouTube, even at this very moment, you can go there and subscribe to us, because when you do, that makes you part of the action, because every time we come on live or we post something, a video or something, and you happen to be online at the time, it will give you that information right there. It will pop up, that alert will pop up, and you can join right in. And those of you who are watching us on Instagram, all you have to do is follow us each week. And I see people are coming in, so I just want to say hi to all of you guys. Now, a lot of you guys may not want to talk live. You maybe just want to sit back and watch the show. That's okay too. Well, I mean, we would love to hear from you. We'd love to say hi to you. But if your thing is sitting back idly watching and just enjoying the show, that's fine. But we hope that you can stay for the whole entire hour. But if you can't, whatever time you can spare with us, we would certainly appreciate it. And we will thank you so much for doing that. And of course, again, for all of you newcomers, don't make this your last time. Make it your weekly habit that you come and join us. You don't need a union card or any kind of representation. All you have to do is just come in like everyone else, and you're just as good as anyone else. So That's what we have coming up for you. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being aboard with us. And I think I covered everything. We've got all of those things coming up. Stay with us. Now, you know, summer is here. Summer is here, and people are enjoying the summer for whatever they're doing. You know, here in New York, we just got like over a heat wave, right? We had a massive heat wave, and all weekend long, I mean, and through last week, from last week right through the weekend, and we got a break in that heat wave on Tuesday. So here we are on Thursday, and everybody was enjoying that. So what it looks like, from what I gather, is that we're going to get a little rain, a little heavy rain, but that's not going to cool things off at all, because tomorrow, they say, the heat goes back up. They turn the heat back up for a day. But when the weekend comes along, which, you know, Saturday comes along and Sunday comes along, the weather looks good here, and it's just going to be nice. So you can do your outdoor activities. Tomorrow, it's a different story, but you can do your outdoor activities or whatever you can do, and it'll be nice weather. So we kind of like break the heat wave for a day. But you know something, the summer is still here. It's going to be here for a while, and we'll get more heat waves. So just brace yourself, you know. Now, for those of you who are in different places, you know, maybe you are used to these heat waves, you know, for wherever you is, like in Arizona. I know in Arizona, boy, you know, we're a four-season town, right? We have 4 seasons. And everybody does, but everyone doesn't enjoy the cold weather like we do. And I'm saying that sarcastically, right? Because I'm a summertime guy, you know. But you know, when it comes around, you have April, you have you know, summer, winter, spring, and fall. Now, in parts of places like, let's say Arizona, right, where the weather's really hot, and I'm pretty sure their winter time, their 60-degree temperature in the winter time is probably, I don't know, it's probably a cold snap. This 60-degree weather is probably a cold snap to them. I'll tell you what, when the wintertime comes around, I will trade to you, anybody watching in Arizona, I will trade you my cold cap. I will trade you my cold snap for your cold snap. I could imagine people watching from Arizona right now say, are you crazy? Why do you think we moved here? I mean, it's cold, but we don't want that kind of weather. I tried. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you for being along with us. And we want you to stay by, because we have all those things coming up. Now, being that the summertime is here, people are gearing up, they're doing a lot of things. The summer months are officially on, and we have a lot of things. People are going out places, they're traveling, backdoor barbecues, hanging out with friends. It's all enjoyable, and I hope that your weather forecast is like that for the weekend, but it's all enjoyable. So we're here in the summer months, so we could like enjoy it. I have a neighbor in my building, right? And you know, we talked a lot, and we tease each other because she's not a summertime person, and I am not a wintertime person for sure. Although I was born in November, that's as close to the winter you're going to get. But you know, I saw her this morning, as a matter of fact, coming out of the building. I said, "How did you like that heat wave?" She said, "Oh my God, it's crazy," you know. And I said, "Okay, well, you know, don't forget, you know, your time will be here." And she says, "Well, I'm looking for the blizzard, and I'm going to rub it in when it comes in." I said, "Okay, I'm just not going to be around when you do it. I'm going to be elsewhere, you know." No, but a lot of people don't like the hot weather, and some people don't like the cold weather. So it's a matter of choice. It's a matter of season, and the 4 seasons is a matter of choice too. Some people like the summer months, some prefer just the spring months, some like the fall, and then others like the winter. It depends on who you are. Whatever it is, enjoy it. Enjoy it. But for the time being, until that time comes, for the time being, we are going to enjoy the warm weather here that I have here in New York. That's what we're going to do. And for those of you who don't like it, well, grin and bear it, because I have to do the same thing in the wintertime. Okay, there we go. We thank you so much for being along with us again, once again. And if you're just joining us at this very moment, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. And if you're a first time and you're just joining us, let me tell you a little more, okay? I said it, but I'll tell you just in case you're just popping in. We're here every Thursday And we invite you all to come in because we talk issues and things like that. And you are invited, being that we're live, to talk with us and invite friends in as well. That's what we do. And so with that in mind, if you have anything to say, we're looking at you right now. If you have anything to say, please, I'll pick it up. I'll pick it up, whether you're on Instagram, which we are live now, and on Facebook, which we are live now. It's 10 minutes past the hour right now, 10 minutes past the hour, and you're just about 5 minutes away from Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports. I want to say that I am so happy to announce that, as you know, our president, Joe Biden, is feeling much better now. He's out of quarantine, or if you want to say quarantine or isolation. Quarantine sounds too, I don't know. I'll say isolation. He's out of isolation now. He did his 5 days, and I'm assuming that now that he's back in the fold, he has tested negative for COVID, because you already know, just in case you haven't heard about it, he had tested positive for COVID last week. And so now he's been doing his work, even though he was in isolation, he was doing his work from his residence. And but now he's back, you know, he's back to normal. He's working with others in the White House. So I'm just glad that he's doing okay, and that you know, he will continue to do okay as we go along. Now, a lot of you, we talked about doing things in the summertime, and that includes a lot of traveling. A lot of people like to travel too, right? A lot of people like to travel. So if you're doing any traveling, please do everything with caution. Do you know, when you go, let's say for instance, if you're flying now, and believe it or not, if you haven't flown lately, believe it or not, wearing a mask on a plane is optional now. I don't know how comfortable or how uncomfortable you feel about that, but the way I see it, I continue to wear my mask. And can you imagine if you're not really comfortable with that, and you're wearing your mask, and you got two other people, you're sitting in the center seat, and you got two other people around you that are not wearing masks, you know? So I don't know. So you have to just do your part. I would suggest that you wear your mask, you know, going through the terminal, on the flight, and just protect yourself. Do what you have to do to protect yourself. If you're in big cities like we are here in New York, we have the buses and the subways, wear your mask. You're going through terminals like we have Grand Central, and we also have Port Authority. People are going through those terminals, wear the mask, you know, until you get outside. A lot of people do not wear their mask when they go outside. They want to take them off, which is okay because you're outdoors, you know, but if you're being secluded in secluded areas, and even when you go to restaurants too, of course, unless you're eating, you don't have to worry about it, you know. So continue to do well, continue to wear your mask, and let's all be happy and safe. That's what we want. We want everybody happy and safe, and make sure everything is okay. Okay, we look at the clock right now. It's 13 minutes past the hour. It's 13 minutes past the hour, and I just want to, let me say something here. In the news, you know, we go down the line in the news, we heard about it. It's old news now, but listen to this. Paul Sorvino, an actor whose role ranged from the mob boss in Goodfellas and an early stint on Law and Order. He played Law and Order, has died. You already know about it. He died, and according to this, he died from natural causes at the age of 83. The Brooklyn-born actor is survived by his wife, Dee Dee, and his 3 children, including his actress daughter, Myra Sorvino, and 5 grandchildren too. So we mourn the loss of Paul Sorvino. He was a great actor. He was a great actor. I never met him. I didn't know him, but I understand that people who have gotten in contact with him or who knew him say he was really a great guy, generous, and just loved being around people. And so you look at it, the tough guy image. He looked like a tough guy, but they said that underneath that tough look, he was very generous, very, very well-mannered and mild-mannered. And so we're gonna miss him. We're gonna miss him. He passed away on the 25th. I got the news on the 26th like everybody else, and I was assuming that that's when he died, you know, but I double checked it before I came on the air, and it says the 25th. We also lost Tony Dow. Tony Dow is an actor and director, and best known for his role. A lot of you who are in my age bracket, or maybe just a wee bit younger, best for as the older brother of Wally Cleaver of Leave It to Beaver, and he passed away Tuesday, and he was 77 years old. Now, here's something ironic. Here's something that's chilling. And I discovered it myself. It's chilling. Paul Savino and Tony Dow celebrated their birthdays the same day, April 13th. April 13th, they celebrated their birthdays. Okay, one was born in 1939, which is Paul Savino. The other was born in 1945, Tony Dow. So they're like 6 years apart age-wise. And they were born the same day, and ironically, they passed away in 1 or 2 days after the other. I just found that eerie. It was eerie, you know. But what we do is that we wish them all well. We wish the people who work with them, people who knew them, people who loved them, and people who worked with them, you know, the families and their friends and whoever, you know, we send our condolences out to all of the family and friends and all the people who work with them, and to all the fans who knew them so well. And I grew up watching Leave It to Beaver, you know, Tony Dow and, you know, Jerry Mathers, who was the little beaver. And I grew up with that show, and they're still showing the reruns on TV. They're still showing them on TV. They're still around. And so therefore, that's how it goes. That's what we were watching. And we hope that, that the families, we wish the families Godspeed. Godspeed. Brian Kemp, we're still expecting him. He should be here any minute now. Any minute now. He's due right now to come in. We're waiting for him to come in and to pop in. But in the meantime, in New York City, we just got information too that cell phone connections will be underground. All right. Now, there are certain places where you can go in the subway and still have a connection. I remember a time when once you were underground, you couldn't connect at all. And there are certain spots where you can connect. But they're talking about now, as you are underground, riding the train through the tunnels, you could still talk. And people are looking forward to that. And I got to be working on that. They kind of like passed that legislation part of it. And so I think it looks like it's going to be a done deal. So they're going to wire everything up in all the subways. And they say it's going to take about 10 years before it's completed. So those of you who are watching from New York and you hear this news, I know you're excited about it. You want to get excited about it. Okay, fine. That's good. But yeah, so what they're doing now is they're just waiting. They're gonna, when they start this process, it's gonna take about 10 years. I don't know, I have mixed feelings about it. I have mixed feelings about it. You know, it's a good thing because let's say, for instance, if you get stuck in the subway, right? Let's say, for instance, if you get stuck and the train is underground and you want to call someone and a family member or something, and you're underground, at least you have your phone and say, hey, you know something, I'm gonna be late because I'm stuck underground with the subway. So I guess we'll see about that. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Anyway, we're coming up now to 19 minutes past the hour. And just in case you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. And of course, Talk Back Live, we bring you all kinds of great entertainment. As I said, sports are coming. We haven't heard from Brian just yet. I don't know where he is. Hopefully he'll pop in here pretty soon, and we'll see what happens. For those of you, again, while we're waiting for him, those of you who are out there now who are watching, if you would like to say something, if you have anything to say, whether it's a question or you just want to say hi, we invite you to chime in with us, and we'll say hi back to you and entertain all of your thoughts and ideas. And And we'll give Brian another minute or so, and in case, just in case, if he's not here, then we're just going to move on to the show until he gets here, and then we'll see what happens. And the situation in Ukraine is still going on, but we're working on those things. And the war, you know, they get on a war, they fight a war, and not knowing what they're fighting for. And I saw something, and if I'm wrong about this, I wish someone correct me. You know how something you go through a news, you pick up something on your phone, like a news alert comes on, but you don't really have time to see it, but you could see like part of the situation. And you read that and you say, well, I have to read that later. And I never did get back there. It said something like Russia decided to pull out. And that's all I saw. Now, I haven't gotten any more information about that since that. So I was wondering if, I don't know, they're going to pull out, you know, this war is coming to an end. I'm hoping so. I'm going to look into that when I get off the air and find out more about it. Anyway, we're here with you, and it's now coming up to 21 minutes past the hour, and I guess Brian is late. He must have some kind of explanation why he's late, because he's usually on the money, and we'll have to find out why when he gets here. But in the meantime, we'll move on. And one other thing, here's something else that happened in New York that we talked about. We talked about Jackie Robinson's wife, Rachel Robinson, right? Jackie, she just turned 100 years old. 100 years old. God bless her. Happy birthday to her, 100 years old. And we've gotten some good news yesterday. Which I'm really delighted to hear about. And maybe we'll discuss this with Brian when he comes in and see what he thinks about it. Maybe he knows something about it too. But they are opening up the Jackie Robinson Museum. They're opening up the Jackie Robinson Museum. And so we're waiting around to see what happens, all right? They had a ceremony there. I believe it was a couple of days ago. Rachel Robinson was there with a host of other speakers and other so-called celebrities. You know how I feel about that word, right? But they were there, and it was a great thing to see that they opened up. That was their grand opening of the Jackie Robinson Museum. Okay, now I didn't know, you know, I was unaware that that was just a ceremony, the opening ceremonies, just to kick it off. But it's not open to the public yet. It's not open to the public yet. They're going to open up to the public. And I called the Jackie Robinson Foundation that day, and just to find out about it. And she told me that it's not open up to the public, and they will open up on the 5th of September, which is a good thing. That's on Labor Day. I checked that. That's Labor Day. And I couldn't think of a better time to take a day off from work. If you're living in New York, if you're in New York and you're off that day, and take off and go, because I already have my plans already. I had this whole idea of planning on taking the trip that day. And by that time, I will have a Jackie Robinson jersey, as authentic as I can get it, a Jackie Robinson Dodger jersey, and a Brooklyn Dodger baseball cap, which you can get these days. You can find them anywhere. You can get them online. I think I'd probably just rather find them in a sports store where I could just pick it up just like that. So Jackie Robinson jersey, this is going to be my attire. I'm going to go to that opening. When it opens to the public on September 5th, I am going to go to that opening, and I am going to have my jersey on and my cap, and I am going to be ready to go out there and enjoy it. It should be great. It should be great. It should be great. So I'm looking forward to that. The Jackie Robinson Museum. It's about time. It's always good to come. And if I get a chance to see, I just wish I were there, but I was invited. But I wish I were there the opening day a couple of days ago. I wish I were, because I had a lot of questions. I would have talked to his son was there, and I would have had the question to anyone. And maybe I'll have that question to someone when I visit on the Jackie Robinson Baseball League, which I was a part of when I was a kid, when I was in my teens. We had a baseball and I played. I was honored to play on that team and got to meet Jackie Robinson at the end of one of the seasons when they had a ceremony there and they gave out trophies and he showed up there. So that was like an honor for me. But I want to see if that Brian asked me last week if the baseball league still exists. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I like to find out. If it doesn't, I want to see if they would entertain the thought or the idea of bringing it back if it doesn't exist now. So that's going to be one of the things I'm going to do. That's something that's going to happen on my bucket list on September 15th. Or I'm sorry, September 5th. That's on Labor Day. To go to the museum and wear my attire and just get a little more educated about Jackie Robinson. There may be more to Jackie Robinson that I don't know about. Okay, if you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. Brian Camp is past due. It's coming up to 26 minutes past the hour. He's past due. But we're going to move on the show until he comes in. And what do you say? What do you say we do this? What do you say we go on and talk about on this day in history while we wait for Brian? Let's talk about this day in history, see what's happening, what we got. We got a lot here. Okay, on this day in history, ladies and gentlemen, 1915, okay, 1915. I don't remember that year, I wasn't there, but 1915, because of virtual anarchy, US Marines go ashore in Haiti on orders from President Woodrow Wilson, and this led to the occupation that will last up until 1934. On this day in history in 1932, US President Herbert Hoover uses federal troops to evict the Bonus Army, World War I veterans and their families from their encampment, and 4 died that year. Also on this day in history in 1932, White Zombie, the first feature-length zombie film directed by Victor Halperin, and of course it starred Bela Lugosi. He was the Dracula, Bela Lugosi, but there was no Dracula in this one. That was released in the United States in 1932. On this day in history in 1933, the first singing telegram was delivered to Rudy Valley in New York City. On this day in history in 1940, Radio Orange begins broadcasting from London. On this day in history in 1943, US President FDR announces end of coffee ratification in the US. On this day in history, 1945, the US Army B-25 crashes into the 79th floor of the Empire State Building and 14 people were killed that day. On this day in history in 1941, Cole Porter's musical Kiss Me, Kate, which was like a takeoff from Shakespeare, Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew, closed at the Century Theater in New York City after 1,077 performances. On this day in history, also in 1951, Walt Disney animated musical film Alice in Wonderland was released. On this day in history in 1954, On the Waterfront, directed by Elia Kazan, and it starred Marlon Brando and Eve Marie Saint, and that was released that year. And it also received the Academy Award Best Picture of 1955. On this day in history in 1957, Jerry Lee Lewis makes his first TV appearance on the Steve Allen Show. On this day in history in 1959, Hawaii's first US election sends the first Asian American to Congress. On this day in history in 1960, US Republican National Convention selects Richard Nixon for candidate. Back in 1962, Marine One launched to Mars. It was launched to Mars. It falls into the Atlantic Ocean. Back in 1965, LBJ, Lyndon B. Johnson, sends 50,000 more soldiers to Vietnam, which made it a total of 125,000. Back in 1967, pirate radio station 390 Radio in Victor in England closed down. Back in 1978, 600,000 attended the Summer Jam Rock Festival at Wilkins Glen, New York. At the time, that was the largest ever audience at the pop festival. Back in 1988, Winnie Mandela's home in Soweto, South Africa, was destroyed by arson. In 1989, Gloria Estefan released her debut album, solo album, that was called Cuts Both Ways. In 1992, R&B singer Mary J. Blige released her debut album, and that was called What's the 411? That was produced by Puff Daddy, who is Sean Combs, there you go. In 2014, Linda Ronstadt receives the National Medal of Arts from President Barack Obama in the White House ceremony. 2017, U.S. Senator vote to repeal the Obamacare. That failed. 51-49 vote when John McCain cast his deciding vote against it. Remember when he did? Remember that? Okay, Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis was born on this day in 1929 in Southampton, New York, and she passed away May 19th, 1994 at the age of 64, and she died of cancer. In 1947, actress Sally Struthers. She played Gloria on All in the Family. She was born on this day. And she's 74. I bet she wish she was 47. She's 75 years old today. She was born in Portland, Oregon. As we move along, 1949, Peter Dole of the New Seekers, they made hits such as Like I Like to Teach the World to Sing. And he was born in Melbourne, Australia. He passed away in 2001. Hugo Chavez, president of Venezuela, was born on this day in 1928. And back in 1954, he was born also in Venezuela, and he passed away March 5th, 2013 at the age of 58 from cancer. In 1966, politician Liz Cheney was born on this day in Madison, Wisconsin. She's 56 today. Happy birthday, Liz. And thank you for doing the right thing. In 1950, actress Betty Davis weds actor Gary Merrill in Mexico. In 1973, actress Farrah Fawcett weds actor Lee Majors at Hotel Bel Air in Los Angeles, California. Back in 1993, Pink Floyd musician Roger Waters, he weds for the third time Priscilla Phillips, and they got divorced again in 2001. Keep trying until you get it right. In 2007, comedian and actor Steve Martin weds Anne Springfield in Los Angeles, California at his home. And finally, in 1964, actress-singer Ethel Merman, she divorced Ernest Bordenheim after marriage for 32 years. And so you have it, ladies and gentlemen, that's this day in history. And of course, we thank you. And those of you who may know something about what's happening in this day in history and not, know, or maybe you know something that I didn't say because I don't know everything, let me know. And of course, I will actually, get it out there and get it out to everyone. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, just in case you're just joining us, here we are once again on this day, on this Thursday. The name of the show is called Talk Back Live, and I'm your host, Frank Allan. And of course, we're here every Thursday. And just in case you're just joining us for the first time, we thank you so much for being along with us. Don't make it your last time. Make it your weekly habit and join, be part of it. It's like we're a family here. It's like a family here. We kind of do things like that, family, friends, and you don't need a union card or any kind of representation or anything of that sort to get along. All you have to do is just show up each week. So we want to thank all of you guys over there, Facebook. Brian didn't show up yet. I don't know. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure what the deal is, why he's not chiming in. I hope he's okay. I hope everything's okay. I hope you remember that today is Thursday. Today is Thursday, right? Yeah, today is Thursday. Today is Thursday. Sometimes we forget a little thing. I don't know. He must have. There must be some kind of a an excuse or something, some valid excuse why he's not here, because it's always like him to be here, and I hope he's okay. Again, thank you guys, the rest of you guys, for joining us for our show. And of course, we're here with you all the time. We like to be with you to give you all kinds of information. And those of you who are joining us for the very first time, as I said, it's always nice for you to come in. Now, those of you who like to sit idle, as I said, watch the show without chiming in or any kind of conversation, that's okay too, just as long as you're out there. That's all we ask, just as long as you're out there. And we hope that everything is fine on your part. And those of you who are watching on Facebook Live, we have a few more minutes in the show. We got another, what, 25 minutes or so in the show. Tag your friends. Now I know you got a lot of friends on Facebook. You guys are so popular. You have so many friends. Tag them. If you don't want to tag them all, tag a few. Or your closest friend. And when you tag them, they will come here. They'll see the tag. And they'll come here on the show. They'll see that you're out here too, and possibly they will, be part of us as well. That's what we like to do. Now, those of you who watch us on YouTube, again, I like to encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, because when you do that, you become part of us. When you subscribe to the YouTube channel, you're right there, and all you have to do is when you see us come on live or we post a video or something, a notification will pop up. It will alert you that we're out here. And if you're online at the time you see it, and all you have to do when that alert comes up, just click right on it. It'll just bring you right here. See, that's how simple we make it for you. Now, for those of you who are watching on Instagram, thank you so much for being with us on Instagram as well. Instagram has been around. Instagram, by the way, a lot of you may and may not know, Instagram is part of the Facebook franchise. You already know that, right? And so, between Instagram and Facebook, we kind of cover the whole spectrum of it all. And so we thank you so much for being along with us. You guys mind if I take a sip of water, because my throat is getting dry? I just want one sip, huh? I usually like to, it's like the coffee hour. I kind of do the coffee hour a little bit like that, because the coffee hour is when I can actually sip coffee on the air, because it's the coffee hour. But with water, I usually like to take, let's say, for instance, when Brian comes in, that's why I haven't, Brian didn't come in yet. And when he's doing the sports, I take a break while I'm off camera and take a sip of water or something like that. So we're still looking for Brian. He still have a little time to come in, and hopefully that he'll be here and give us that sports information. And we'll certainly find out what happened to him, and where he is or where he's going to be. Hopefully, I hope he's okay. If we get through this show without him, I'm going to see my best to give him a call and find out what the story is. Because things happen. Sometimes you can be stuck somewhere and you can't get away, and not even a phone call. So I'm just hoping everything is okay with him. In the meantime, we will continue the show. Those of you who are doing something, we have later on, as I told you, we have the information on those great movies that you love so well. Now, speaking of those classic movies, we'll tell you more about that in a minute. Speaking of those classic movies, I noticed Turner Classic Movies have been turning out some stuff that I never seen before, whether they were comedies or drama or maybe even so much as, I guess, crime shows or crime movies or something like that. They've been going back in time. They've been going back to the 1940s. They've been pulling out stuff that, and I liked what I saw. I looked at some of those movies, and some of them that I never seen before, but I can tell you one thing. The ones that I've never seen before that I actually seen and that I like, believe me when I tell you, if they ever pop up in service again and they come on one of our weekends, I will bring those to you, because they go back in time. They go back in time to those old Westerns. Remember the old Westerns when they used to have the singing cowboys and things like that? They go back just that far, in the 1930s, the 1930s. I remember, and every once in a while they probably still do it. I remember when they used to show, and I hope they come back and bring some more out again. They used to show the old Western cowboys like Roy Rogers and Hopalong Cassidy and Gene Autry. And, you know, and Gene Autry was a singing cowboy. So was Roy Rogers, you know. Hopalong Cassidy, he was more like an adventurous kind of cowboy. You know, he was for the law and order. And cowboys like that. And some of the old Westerns that didn't have these high graded actors, these major actors, like, let's say, Gene Autry or I don't know, the Lone Ranger, you know, something like that. Clayton Moore, right? Or Roy Rogers or anything like that. They had these, I guess, they didn't call them like A-list actors back in those days, but they were just major actors. And some of the actors that weren't even well known, they pull out stuff from their archives and show those, and they were great. They were great. And I noticed that they're still doing that now, and I can't wait till the weekend comes around where I will fit in my schedule, even though I maybe do some outdoor activities because the weather's going to be pretty good here in New York. I'll be doing some outdoor activities, but I am going to take the time to tune in to Turner Classic Movies and watch some of those old movies and watch it. And some of them I like to collect for my archives. You know, because you see those movies and you may not see them for years and years and years and years to come. And some of the movies, when they come back, they actually jog my memory. They actually jog my memory. And so I just look forward to this weekend to check them out. But in the meantime, we do have all of the other great movies for you that I hope that you enjoy. And this week I only have one, but I'll tell you more about that. We'll tell you more about that later. It was only one because my picks are always the ones that they're just my picks. They have no bearing on which is better or anything like that. No bearing at all. They just my personal picks. Okay, you're just joining us. We're coming up now to 17 minutes, 16 minutes to the hour, 17 minutes to the hour. And we still haven't heard from Brian Camp yet, because usually around the 15 minutes past the hour of the show, Brian Camp comes in and he's all set to do sports. But for some reason, he's not here today. And I don't know, we want to try to give him a call or something like that. But we'll see what happens when he comes in. There you see that picture of me right there, right? I know. That was my days as a disc jockey. That was my days as a disc jockey. And a lot of people were asking me, you know, what would I do? Am I still doing radio? Am I still doing radio? No, I'm not. I retired from radio. I retired from radio because of the fact that I wanted to, I just wanted out. You know, I just wanted to leave all of that to the younger guys now. You know, I had my fun with it. And I started in radio back in, I think it was, oh yeah, 1970. I started in radio in 1970. And most of my work was as radio disc jockey, but as I moved along and moved forward in my career, I did some news anchoring and the whole 9 yards. And people tried to typecast me, and you know, but I didn't accept that. So I just kept on bouncing around until I got exactly what I want. You know what I'm going to do? I am going to call Brian Camp on the phone now. Let me see if I can get him on the phone. and see what we got going, because maybe he couldn't link to the air. Maybe he couldn't link to the air. So we're going to see. I am going to give him a call right now. Just excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, and see if we can get him on the phone. Let's see if we can get him on the phone. Okay, we're going to try this. See if we can get him on the phone. And just in case you just joined, Brian.
Yes, how you doing?
How's it going?
Got caught in the storm. I'm in between DC and Maryland. Had to make a quick trip into New York, and I had to trip out. Totally got wiped out with this storm and stuck in traffic. But if you still have time, I can give you a 5-minute update and sport.
Okay, that I mean, if it's not out of your way, because we thought something happened to you. That's why we wanted to make a call. But we're holding the show down pretty well. So yeah, if you want to do that, sure.
Okay. Well, good evening, everybody. This is Brian Camp. Hope all is well. Stuck in the rain here in the car going back to Charlotte, North Carolina. It is raining. This thing is sports, July 28, 1933. NFL divides into two divisions and 5-team division. 1985, Lou Brock, Ines Slaughter, and A. Vaughn and Hoyt Wilmer inducted into Baseball Hall of Fame. 1989, Vince Carter's caught stealing the end record at 50. 1993, Seattle Mariner Ken Griffey Jr., the third person to hit home runs in 8 straight games. Unbelievable. 1994, Major League Baseball decided to strike on August 12th, 1994, and in 1996, New York Yankee Darryl Strawberry hits his 300th career home run. Birthdays today, 1943, former NBA and former U.S. Senator, Democrat Bill Bradley, who played for the New York Knicks at Madison Square Garden, was born in Crystal City, Missouri. 1949, Major League Baseball pitcher Vida Blue was born in Mansfield, Louisiana. 1951, former NBA broadcaster Doug Collins was born in Christopher, Illinois. And in 1977, former NBA Hall of Famer Manu Ginobili was born in Bahia Blanca, Argentina. And ladies and gentlemen, that's a quick update of sports.
Well, it's better than nothing. Hey, listen, Brad, I don't know if you knew this. Maybe you heard about it. But just a couple of days ago, they had christened a new place, and I'm proud to say this, in New York City, a Jackie Robinson Museum.
Yes, I was going to report that. I just didn't have enough time. Yes. Oh,
okay.
That's a new museum. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Hopefully next time I come to New York, I could come and see it.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah. Well, they had the ceremonies there. His wife Rachel was there at the ceremony, and a few other people, keynote speakers, were there. But that was just the opening. But it wasn't open to the public. It's not open to the public now. So what I did, I called the Jackie Robinson Foundation to get more information about it. And their opening day to the public is going to be September 5th. That's going to be Labor Day.
September 5th. Okay, great. Great. I was going to do some research on that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And
wow.
I have plans. I already have plans to go to that museum on that day.
Well, I tell you one thing, your New York Yankees better make some plans about how to beat the New York Mets. I tell you that much. It's getting crazy out there with the Mets and the Yankees. Subway Series.
I was so disappointed. I was hoping at least they win the second game, so they could divide it. And now they gotta wait until next month when they do it at Yankee Stadium. But I was kind of disappointed. I was really disappointed. But getting back to the Jackie Robinson, I got plans. You know what I'm gonna do? by the time it comes around, I am going to have me this is what I'm going to be wearing at the museum. I am going to have me a Jackie Robinson jersey, number 42 jersey.
Right.
And I'm going to get me a Brooklyn Dodger baseball cap. And that's going to be my attire when I walk into there.
That's gonna be a beautiful sight. I already have both.
Yeah.
I was thinking about wearing a Jackie Robinson jersey with a San Francisco Giant hat to let people know that I hate the Dodgers, but I love and respect the great late Jackie Robinson, and I don't discriminate to greatness, especially for Jackie Roosevelt Robinson. Yes.
Well, you can do that tomorrow when you come on the air.
Yes. Yes. I surely can. Yes, I surely can.
Okay, I don't want to hold you up too long, but give us a briefing on what happened. You got caught in a storm or something? Are you en route now? Are you in a car now?
I'm en route back to Charlotte, North Carolina, where I should be there. I should be home by 3 a.m. this morning, tomorrow morning, I should say. But I'll be back. It was one of the last second things I had to do. I had to pick up our granddaughter. She got to start school. She has an audition, so so we had to pick up back. So we're headed back now. But yes, I'll be there tomorrow morning at 10:20. I'll be in there, God's willing. I'll make it back on time, and I'll give you my sports update.
Okay, we were worried about you, man. That's why I said, look, I was telling the audience, I said, we're waiting for him. I covered everything I had to cover, what I usually do. And I said, well, I'm going to give Brian a call and see what's happening. Because I said, there has to be some kind of legitimate excuse why he's here, because you're always on the money.
Always. Hey, did you announce the passing of the Paul Sereno?
Yes, I did.
And
yes,
Paulie Walnut. Well, you did that the last week with Paulie Walnut, the guy that played in The Sopranos. Yes, okay.
And also Tony Dow, remember from Leave It to Beaver?
Leave It to Beaver, yeah.
Yeah, he died. And I was telling the audience it was eerie because Paul Sorvino and Tony Dow celebrate a birthday together. They were born on August. April 13th. I might have said 14th earlier, but they were born April 14th. Paul Sorvino in 39 and Tony Dow in 45, and they died 2 days apart from each other.
Wow, incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, prayers go out to the family, and we pray for their healing of losing a lost one.
Yeah. He was great. He was great. He'll be missed.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, have a great trip, the rest of the trip back, and we'll see you tomorrow morning, man.
Okay. See you then. Take care.
Take care. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports. We finally got him. Listen, he was stuck. He was stuck. Listen, it's better being stuck. And I guess he just didn't have any kind of communication to get with us. So telephones, sometimes the telephone is better. Sometimes it's good. It's like the telephone could be like what you call a plan B. And so that's what we did. But we did get the sports in. We got the sports in, but he'll be here tomorrow too as well. But you'll see him live, and maybe he'll wear that Dodger jersey with the San Francisco cap on. I hope not to piss people off, but he'll be here tomorrow on the coffee hour. His part of the 2020 feature, he opens it up 20 past the hour. And with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And DJ Pete will be here tomorrow too. He'll be here with his part of the 2020 feature. That's 20 to the hour. And he'll be here with entertainment news. And of course, you'll get a chance to meet him as well. He'll be here live from Portland, Maine. And along with the entertainment news, reciting all of those birthdays of people of notoriety who are celebrating birthday in that week. Okay, so we didn't lose anything. It was late, sports were late, but we got it in there. And we're gonna move along right now, because right now, I wanna tell you, and I only have one, I always make it a point to help you guys out in your weekend plans. Now, whether you guys may not be watching movies, but you could always, when you record movies, you DVR it and watch it another time. And I only have one movie this week, and this could relate to a lot of people, a lot of my colleagues in the radio business who played the oldies like I did. When I had that show Music Beat, I played music of the 50s, 60s, and 70s, rock and roll, doo-wops, R&B, and pop music of that era. This is a great one. This goes back to 1973, American Graffiti with Richard Dreyfuss and Ron Howard. And American Graffiti it was a great movie. It played all the old movies. Wolfman Jack had a part in it. You know, you'll see him, he was a disc jockey. He had a part in it there. And you'll see that comes on Saturday. That's Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern, American Graffiti. And that's the only pick that I have for this week. All right, but that doesn't mean there are others there. You can check it out for yourself right now. You can go there and watch it. Watch Turner Classic Movies, and go, while you're watching Turner Classic Movies, go through the guide, the program guide. You see the program guide right there. The program guide will display all of the great movies of the weekend and beyond. You can keep going until you find something you like. You may not be able to watch it, or if you forget about it, just in case, set your program to DVR it, and then you could watch it at a later date if you can't watch it in real time. And of course, while you're there, you can go online and you can go on Movie on Demand. Now, Movie on Demand, I like. You see, Movie on Demand, what they do, they have a lot of great movies that range back to 1930s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and so on and so forth. And you'll even get movies that you haven't seen in a long time. Classic movies that you say, hey, you know what? I can watch this 1,000 times and not get tired of it. And you could watch those movies and you could watch to your heart content. Just go down there and you'll see Movie on Demand. Pick out something you might see, you know, catch up on something, the movies that you haven't seen in a long time. And if you want to go to pay-per-view, you could watch the current movies that are on pay-per-view. You don't get a chance to go to the theaters these days. Going to pay-per-view, if you go to pay-per-view, which by the way is cheaper than going to the movies, because you can kind of cut corners. And with the economy the way it is, you know, you're gonna want to, like, even though you can catch some of these movies, granted, these movies are not on demand before they come into the theater, right? They're in the theater, and then, you know, maybe a couple of months later, or maybe a month later, maybe even sooner than that, weeks later, you can get them on demand, and you can watch them. You can pop up your own popcorn and have your own big gulp Coca-Cola or whatever you do, or whatever it is, which is, by the way, free. All of that is free, right? In your house, it's free. So you can do that. And also you have all the networks there. You like Lifetime movies. If you like Lifetime movies, they're all there. The Lifetime movies are there. Whatever's available, you could watch them. If you like sports like I do, I like wrestling. I didn't get a chance to see my wrestling for Tuesday and Wednesday because I was watching the Met and the Yankee game. But I did get to see what I missed today. I went on demand, and I went to watch them today. And so a lot of things are going on. Now, you could also go on the CBS, all the networks are there, and you can catch out all the movies right there. And just in case you have a sporting event that you miss, check out the next day. It's probably there. And that's it. So let me go on to this again. American Graffiti with Richard Dreyfuss and Ron Howard. That's coming on, and that's Saturday. That's Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Check your time zone. 6 p.m. Eastern. It's right there on Turner Classic Movies. That's the only one I have this week, and I hope you will like it. I like it. I haven't seen it in a long time. I do have it in my iCarves. I watch them when I can, you know, and I may not get a chance to watch it in real time tomorrow, you know, but who knows? Who knows? We'll see. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got through it. We got through it, and we got Brian in there somehow. Thanks for coming along. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for being with us. I want you to join me tomorrow morning. We'll be back here tomorrow morning, bright and early at 10 a.m. for the coffee hour. And along with that, Brian Camp will be with me. He will be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update, and also DJ Pete. with his second part of the 2020 feature, 20 to the hour. He will be here with entertainment news and reciting all of those birthdays of people of notoriety who are celebrating with him this week. Okay, and of course, you and me, all of us together with our coffee in hand. Other than that, we'll be back here next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for more of Talk Back Live. Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And of course, you and I, all of us together to join in. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, until tomorrow morning, you guys have a great morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant good night. See you then.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with your host, Frank Allen. The producer is Al Dale, technical assistance Dave Taylor, research by Sandy Pierce, and I'm your announcer, Donna Stanky. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.